Alright, what is going on, you guys? So it's been a while already. Took about 3 trades since my last video, and I'm currently holding all 3 of them as of right now. So I took a partial sell today, which I thought was worth making a video about. And also just to give you guys a quick little update on how I'm doing after experiencing well the 7 consecutive losses, which definitely took a big portion of my profits. I think we were up like 8% at some point, but after that 7 consecutive loss right there of trades, I definitely wiped out a vast majority of my little profit. So we're kind of digging away out of that hole, really minimizing my exposure in the markets and really trading only the setups that I'm supposed to be trading. If we look at last month's performance, I mean not performance, but actually the frequency in trading that we were doing, you'll actually see that from the beginning of February 4th in this case, all the way to the last trade, which was done on February 26th, you'll see that we actually ended up taking 26 trades or 25 trades. And compare that to this month, which is already closing in pretty soon, we only have 10 trades so far. So from 25 trades to 10 trades is definitely over a 50% decrease in my frequency of trading. And in my opinion, I think that's a good thing for me, just because I'm really focusing on actually trading the setup that I'm supposed to be trading, and not just trading any random stock that appears to be good, but actually isn't. So I'm going to break down the brand new trade that I took, which is AIFF. Barely took down today. As you can see here on my Discord, I just took that brand new trade today. And I'm also going to break down the 2 stocks that I took yesterday, and one of them that I actually sold a partial sell today. So I sold 50% of that stock, which ended up yielding me a quick $100, which is roughly 2% of my account right now, and is likely going to give us a boost in terms of not only my confidence, but actually the realized P&L closing in the month here. So let's break those down for you guys real quick, and also explain to you guys the setup that I'm looking for and the strategy that I trade every single day here for you guys. So I'm looking for 3 things. Number 1, an aggressive green candle. Typically you'll see the candles being over like 20% gainers. Sometimes you'll see large gainers like 90-80% gainers. An aggressive green candle pretty much engulfs all the other previous candles over here in the past, and in this case it definitely does, probably like twice the size of all these candles over here, so definitely above average. But that's number 1, an aggressive green candle. Number 2 is explosive volume. So if we look down here, you'll see that this volume spike was pretty much like 5-10 times larger than any other previous volume spike that you see over here on the left side. That's number 2 right there. Number 3 is some form of resistance being broken with that aggressive green candle. So number 1, an aggressive green candle. Number 2, explosive volume. And number 3, some form of resistance being broken, which in our case was this little range over here on the left side. So we broke out of that with an explosive green candle combined with volume. That's essentially all we're looking for. Now there is some nuances to it, like for example, if this candle would have closed with a big wick, even though it closed above the breakout point, if it had some weakness to it, like for example this current candle today, we saw a massive wick up here. You definitely don't want to be buying into those candles. Ideally, the candle would just simply close pretty close to its high over here. That's really where you want to be seen. So that's essentially it. I'm trading breakouts using momentum as well. And the time of entry is the last couple of seconds of the trading session. So what I do is just simply send out a market on close order, is what it's called, which essentially lets my broker know that I want to enter at whatever price the stock is at in the last couple of seconds of the trading session. And as soon as I get filled, I go ahead and throw out my stop loss order at the midpoint of the aggressive green candle. So it would be somewhere around 4.80, around this point right here. And then in this particular case, we had the price come in our favor the next day. And what I did today was actually move up my stop loss, specifically 1/16 under this current candle. And that's essentially it. My targets are 75% from the close of the entry bar, so I think it would be roughly around 8 something. I have it over here on my Discord, but it's roughly around the $8 mark. And if the price does hit that, which probably happens 1 out of 10 times, I'll sell 50% of my position at that point, and then the rest I'll just simply use a trailing method like I am doing right now, putting the stop loss 1/16 under the current candle of the day. The next trade that we took yesterday as well is MKDW, the same setup that we're looking for. An aggressive green candle that breaks out of some form of resistance. So if we look over here on the left, you'll see a little bit of resistance. To be honest, this wasn't the best form of resistance, but it was still considered some form of resistance in my opinion. And we broke out of it with an aggressive green candle yesterday right here. The volume was also explosive if you look down here compared to the past volume spikes over here. And today we just happened to get an aggressive 49% move today. So not necessarily the 75% mark that we're looking for, but if we look at the 5-minute time frame here, you'll see that the price actually had an aggressive spike over here in the after hours, which actually ended up going far past my initial. But what I think is really interesting and a little bit besides the point is that I had an order out there for a sell at 8.83, and it actually did not get triggered at that time. It got to the point where I had to cancel that order and re-enter a new order, but at that point I ended up selling at 9.3, so I ended up getting a little bit more than I intended to get out, but that was simply because my broker just simply did not want to take me out of that trade for whatever reason. It could have been something technical, something my fault, but I pretty much got out at this little second spike over here, so I didn't get out of this first spike. And good thing, thank God I was actually looking at the chart when all this was going on, because if I didn't, I wouldn't even have been in that. I wouldn't even have had time to exit that trade, to be honest with you guys. And the price is pretty much $1 under its high from over here, and I think we have like 50, 60 shares, so that would have been a good $60 right there of lost potential. But I ended up doing it manually, setting out an order out to sell at that point, and we just ended up selling at around 236, I think it was, or 336. I'm not entirely sure, but that was good on my part. Hopefully tomorrow this stock does continue to move up higher, and we do see some bigger gains. At this point, my stop loss is right under this candle, 1/16 under this current candle. So hopefully tomorrow's candle actually does continue moving up higher, and we can actually move up our stop loss even higher now, really locking in all the gains that we made from today. So that's the MKDW trader. I'm going to go over to the brand new trade that we took barely today, and that is going to be AIFF. The same thing we're looking for. Nice little breakout above some form of resistance. And again, this isn't the best resistance. I've seen way better. I mean, actually, as a prime example here, which I do have on my watch list. Let's check them out real quick. So let's look at the SIFF. So SIFF, if we look over here in the past, we have highlighted right here the resistance. I mean, this resistance compared to the one that we're watching right now, this resistance is prime right here. This is a prime setup of what I'm trading here. So we have obviously and unmistakably some form of resistance over here, and then we just explode out of that resistance with an aggressive green candle, explosive volume, and what do you know, we just come up slowly but surely. We just grind up here to all the way to 1619. So that's like a 100% increase right there, and that's definitely a good trade right there. And the same thing with, here's another example, INNV, undeniable resistance right here, aggressive green candle, explosive volume, and then we just ran up another couple of I think it was like $3 or $4. So let's go back to the trader that we have active right now, which is AIFF. So AIFF, not the best trade here, not the best trade setup here, but it was still a decent setup, and I have my stop loss set in place. So 2.53 is the midpoint of this candle from the open to the close, without considering the wick up here. So I'm going to be watching these three stocks as the days go on tomorrow, and then hopefully into next week. So if you are going to use this strategy, I do recommend that you do your own due diligence, gather your own data, see what works and what doesn't. But here it is for all I care. Go ahead and take it. This is the modern updated version. Again, I do have an older one over here in the past, but since I have been gathering data, tweaking the strategy and updating it as I put on more trades, this is pretty much the 2.0 version right here. So brief description here of how the strategy works, as well as an example on a chart. And also, which I think is the equivalent of value, is a watch list. So a daily watch list. Today I didn't send out any, simply because, well, I didn't see any good ones. It wasn't until the last couple of minutes of the day where I actually found the trade that we took today, which is AIFF. But even this one wasn't even the best trade. But the two big winners that I actually do have a position in, I actually did send those out yesterday. So I included three other ones, and I do mention over here on the chat as well the trades that I actually do enter. So if we look at yesterday's message, I did mention that I took two new trades, which is the KSCP, MKDW. So if you're interested in all this, go ahead and check this out. Take all this information for all I care, completely for free. The whole goal of this channel is just simply and hopefully get traders into the right mindset, give them the right framework, and in the long run, make them profitable. Hopefully, like I'm saying, but at least preventing them from blowing up their account, and at least keeping them consistent with the trading strategy that they're working with. So I'm going to end it right there. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.